Hi, good afternoon. We are team number 1, and today we'll be presenting the strategic evaluation and market selection for the company Zacua. To start, we're going to talk a little bit of what is Zacua. Zacua is the first Mexican brand of electric cars. They currently have 2 models in the market, the Zacua MX2 and Zacua MX3. These are both 100% urban electric cars, low speed, optimized for city use. These cars are branded like a perfect car for a big city because of their tiny size. These both models only have 2 spaces and are really tiny, and also because they are electric and they are eco-friendly. Their main national competitors are big companies like JAC, BYD, and MG. The advantages that these big companies have over Zacua is that they already have a stronger distribution network and they are more known in the Mexican market than Zacua. Now, their main customers are young professionals with a middle-high income that live in big cities like Mexico City, Monterrey, who have an eco-friendly conscience and are willing to try innovative products and Mexican products.
In this slide, we can see the Porter's 5 forces. First of all, the customer power is high because the EV patent was released, so buyers have many options. The supply power is low since there are plenty of global providers and Zacua sources are 60% from Mexico. The threat of substitute is moderate with hybrids, public transport, and electric motorcycles covering similar needs. The threat of new entrants is medium as brands like Tesla, Nissan, BMW that are already producing in Mexico. And finally, the rivalry is intense with big global players dominating, which forces Zacua to innovate and make a great impact with new opportunities and sustainability. In conclusion, Zacua faces strong competition but can stand through innovation and sustainability.
Based on the CPM scores and justifications, one particular and important factor is the market share, because it shows how well each brand is positioned in the EV market. Tesla received the highest ratings in the factor since it was one of the strongest global market shares and seen as a leader in the EVs, thanks to his innovation and reputation. On the other hand, Zacua got the lowest ratings and market share because it's still small. Local brand in Mexico while limited sales and presence compared to other big brands. The difference becomes from the fact that Tesla is a global recognition, strong demand, and a big investments in technology, while Zacua is still building its brand and distribution mainly in the local market in Mexico. This shows how bigger established companies can dominate in visibility and customers' adoption, while smaller local brands need more time and resources to compete in the level.
I will explain how Porter's Diamond applies to Mexico's electrical vehicle industry, showing why the country is becoming an attractive hub for electrical mobility. Firm strategy and reliability. Mexico hosts global players like Tesla, Ford, and GM, along with new Mexican firms. Their focus is innovation, efficiency, and strong supply chains. By 2025, production is expected to reach 250,000 electrical vehicles. Competition centered on quality, technology, and charging infrastructure. Supporting industry. There are over 439 supplies growing 37% per year. They specialize in batteries, drivetrains, and electrics, where renewables, energies, and charging networks create a complete ecosystem. Factor conditions. Mexico has lithium reserves, a skilled workforce, and strategic location near to the USA and Canada with more than $20 billion in foreign investment in 2024. And growing environmental awareness conditions are very favorable. Demand conditions. Domestic demand is booming. Electrical vehicles and hybrid sales grew over 72% in 2025. Hybrid lead with 55% of the market, while buyers value efficiency, low cost, and good charging access. Electrical vehicles now hold 6.4% of the market. In conclusion, Mexico combines companies, suppliers, resource, and fast-growing demand, positions itself as a global electrical vehicles powerhouse.
In the Wiklund method, with the pest analysis, we analyzed three different countries: Canada, France, and USA. Canada was the lower score with a 41 points. This country have strengths in consumers with the strong environmental awareness in the EV acceptance and a stable government policies with some incentives, but also have different weaknesses, like it is a small market with a very big competition, and charging infrastructure is still limited. For France, we have a total score of 57, with the strong incentives of the government to the EV industry and significant progress in the charging infrastructure. But the weaknesses that France have is that the market is very divided and very competitive, with a medium-sized market, not quite big to give a Zacua an opportunity to entrance the market. For the last, we have the total score of 70.5 for USA, having the highest score from these three different countries. Having a strong government incentives and stable policies, a big market with a global leader in R&D investment, and a highly developed charging infrastructure. The only weakness that USA have is that it's extremely intense in the competition. This is not a very good part for Zacua. So the mix of the policies, technology, and the market size is a top expansion target, but the differentiation is the key of success of Zacua in a different country like USA.
Mexico trade agreements and market access. Mexico is one of the most open economies in the world, with 14 free trade agreements that cover more than 50 countries. Agreements like the USMCA, the UE-Mexico trade deal, and the CPTPP make it easier for companies like Zacua to expand globally by lowering tariffs and simplifying regulations. Mexico's strong automotive industry is already connected with North America's supply chains, which gives Zacua a big advantage for scaling into nearby and international markets. Recommended expansion strategy. Based on our PESTEL and Whitlock analysis, the best expansion plan for Zacua is a phased approach. The priority markets are Canada and the United States because of the strong EV incentives, charging infrastructure, and close ties with Mexico. France is our recommended entry point into Europe, where Zacua can position itself as a premium brand focused on sustainable urban mobility. To succeed, Zacua should leverage trade agreements to cut costs, form partnerships with governments and charging providers, and promote its unique value as an eco-friendly Mexican EV company.